Hi, everybody. Ricky Carmichael.
You're the chosen one. You're the fans' favorite toy here. So,
Ricky Carmichael, everybody. If you haven't seen it, well, you've been under a rock apparently, but it just keeps getting worse and worse, or looking worse and worse for him. I mean, every clip that's coming out, every backhanded comment that's, from years ago, it just looking so immature and like, you know, I'm the best, so you have to bow down to me. And this is a clip from his Instagram, or the comments of his Instagram. As you can tell, almost all of them are negative. I mean, how many of them are just, negative, 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 negative? And then past this, at least when I recorded this, past this, almost, or every one of his recent Instagram posts, comments are off. I mean, you get to a point where you're this famous and you have to turn them off because it's just getting bombarded with negative. And granted, he's earned it. I mean, obviously, everything that's coming out makes him look just childish. And yeah, greatest racer of all time, whatever you want to call it. But when you have to sit there and make everyone bow down to you, it's not great. It's just really not.
It's important to treat people how you want to be treated, and just don't be an asshole. It's pretty much, it's that easy.
Now, obviously, this is coming out after Daniel Blair made his YouTube video, which, as the time I'm recording this now, has 259,000 views. And it's just, dragging the production, Duffy, Carmichael, just everyone, because, granted, it could be the tinted side of things, because obviously it's his side of the story. There's always two sides, but that one is...
I would get a bad attitude if I had to be around you all the time too, so there's that.
You were smiling when you were with me.
That was a fake smile. If I'm smiling around you, it's a fake smile.
And, if you watch the video, he goes all the way back to 2020, talking about how they told him they were he was their guy, and how he was going to be in the booth, and how this and that has affected it and changed, and how it's ruined.
I specifically tell them to do is go watch some old video of Daniel Blair racing Supercross, and whatever he does, you want to do the exact opposite.
Now, a lot of these you could probably play off as or backhanded compliments, or little banter between people who are working together. But when you look at the whole timeline of X to Z, or A to Z, it starts to create a picture of, wow, this actually doesn't look very good. I mean, this is a couple times here, little jokes between people who have obviously known each other for a while. Could be fine. Could be one thing or another. But when it's all these jokes, all these little backhanded compliments.
Tell me where I can go where I won't interfere with your tour.
How about out in the parking lot? Let's start there. Just stay here.
It really looks like somebody who is just, trying to have control over everything, trying to, be the big man on campus and tell everybody else what they can do and what they can't do. And for Daniel Blair, who knows? I mean, obviously he was told one thing, or supposedly told one thing, and something went the other way. I mean, granted, that is showbiz. There's always somebody who's going to get screwed, whether that's a good thing or not. Obviously, it's a not thing, but there's always one person who is on the short end of the stick, whether you are told one thing and it doesn't live up to your expectations, or you're told one thing and then it gets rescinded at some point. It just sucks. I mean, especially for him. But you had to say, of all the things that are coming out, it does not make him look bad at all. I mean, at least from my point of view, Daniel Blair just looks like a guy who got screwed here. Whether that's completely true, 100%, or, he's omitting some things, whatever you want to say, it still just makes him look like the guy who wasn't the problem. And I mean, granted, I'm recording this after the Indy race, and you could just tell, the broadcast was not good. I mean, there is some problems in here. People just repeating the same thing over again. Oh, he fell. There's still a lot of race. And then 2 minutes later, oh, well, there's still a lot of race. It's like, yeah, we understand. There's still 16 minutes left of this race. There's still a lot of race. You don't need to keep repeating it over and over again. And broadcasting is something that's not everyone's cup of tea. I mean, personally, when you start recording things, you start realizing how long minutes actually are when you have to fill that dead space. You cannot sit there and just have nobody saying anything. That's why there's always multiple broadcasters. There has to be something going on all the time, whether it is some sort of color commentary or, some analytics or whatever is needed at the moment. There has to be something going. And it's not everyone can do it. I mean, granted, I'm not the greatest person at this, so I will fully admit that. But if you're doing this as your job, like between these two right here, this is your job. You have to be good at this. You have to be articulate and, have something going all the time, have a story, have a little funny quip or like a little piece of knowledge. And obviously being Carmichael, he has to be the guy who's there as the analyst. He has to say what's going on or what they should be doing or how they're doing it. Duffy is just, the guy who's telling you what's going on all the time. Like, he has no background in this. And Carmichael just really looks bad, just in total.
Well, I get along with him really well now, but like, he wouldn't even let me test on the Suzuki test track. Like, he might learn something. He was kind of an asshole.
Now, as far as I know too, we've heard nothing from Carmichael about this. No post, no, response, whatever. And I highly doubt we ever will, because if he comes out and says something snarky or, kind of tries to like make Blair look bad, it's just going to backfire him more than it already is. And but I bet you on the back end of things, in the production meetings, in the, whatever it is, with the bosses, with the people that are the money side of things, I bet you there is just chaos going on, because everything looks bad. Any production, any broadcast now that doesn't work out well, if there's problems, if there's, they don't live up to what they should be doing on the job, it just adds to the part that Blair was right. Blair was right. This wasn't his fault. This was, them. And I don't know. To me, this is just, for Blair, who knows? I mean, he's never going to get a job back with them again, whether he wanted one or not. He blew that up pretty well, pretty successfully. And for him, move on to YouTube, do whatever else you're doing and be happy with it. And for this broadcast, I don't know. Maybe at the end of the year, we might see some changes, or they're just going to stick with it and believe that they are right, which, whatever, that's their decision. That's the production and the big money people's idea. But I don't know. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Do you think Ricky looks horrible out of this? Do you think Blair, looks good? What should change? Whatever it is, comment down below. Tell me what you think. While you're down there, make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the fun things this platform allows you to do, because it really just helped me out and I appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you later. Peace.
You're going to have bad days, of course, but on those bad days, when you get through it, you need to make up for that and, apologize to people. Sometimes you gotta eat crow sometimes, man.